Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
This is Ito.
And we are the Carbonation Conversation, reviewing MoonKnight, Episode 3.
The Friendly Type.
And if you're like what you're hearing always in the background, you're liking the music production, you're liking what you're hearing, definitely don't hesitate to contact MoBeats89 in the description below, as well as checking out his collaboration with Uran, Kabashi, Smashing Buttons Volume 2, Beat Tape Heroes. One of my new favorite songs on that album is Moonraker. Gotta check this album out. And as always, we love you, Mo. How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
All right. We're here on this Easter Sunday, having a couple of, it's a rest day, you know what I'm saying? Having a couple of 312s here. One of my favorite beers. It's an Urban Wheat Ale.
Yep. Goose Island Beer Company. It's made here in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. So shout out to 312 and let's get this in. Happy New Beer. You know, that first beer of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. And don't forget, as always, to like, subscribe if you do have the time to comment. We are trying to specifically focus on Podbean and YouTube right now. Obviously, we have other streaming areas where you can definitely listen to us. Yeah. Shout out to who's ever listening to us on Alexa. I'm just gonna, that's awesome. But basically, what we're just asking of you guys is to definitely subscribe on Podbean and YouTube. That'll definitely help us out with the algorithm. Definitely like us if you like what you hear, and if you dislike what you hear, at least have the fucking balls to tell us why in the comment section. Damn it, I digress. But yeah,
calm down, man. Calm down.
Guess what, Ito?
Okay.
We have now surpassed over 510 downloads. We are steady trucking away. And once again, thank you for all your support. Let's take this shot.
Shout out.
Ooh, first shot of the day too, man. I mean, Jesus.
Yes.
So, you had a couple of issues. Not with the show, but I would say more of the pacing, right?
So with the pacing,
first two episodes Steve was getting on your nerves a little bit.
Yeah, kind of the show too, but it was like I was more excited for what I've read about in the background of the stuff. So, but finally, this episode actually was a good episode.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty tripped out.
Stuff, good action, good part of the history and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And
really
these are Egyptian gods, right?
Yeah,
that's what they are. Okay, I just wanted to make that very, very clear, at least for me, before we get into this episode.
So that's where they are.
Okay,
it takes place in the.
One thing I will say is shout out to Marvel on the soundtrack. I really like the Egyptian hip hop. Man, it was banging at the end of episode 2, and then it came on with the music. Just banging. I was just like, damn, I should have, my Google phone now can play, it can tell you what you're listening to in the background. I should have looked at it when I heard that beat drop, like, who is this? But anyways, it starts off with, Layla. She's looking like she's in some sort of black market store.
Yeah, she's it starts off like she's out of focus.
Yeah.
And it goes into focus to realize she's taking a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And basically she's getting a passport, fake passport getting made.
Mm-hmm.
And by a friend of her father's. And she used to do this for her father. And he used to do on dig sites and stuff. And apparently take Layla when she was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Even the lady was like, "Oh, it's no place for a little girl should have been," or some shit like that.
Yeah, we do. In the passing conversation, Layla is telling the lady everything that's what's happening with Mark and Steven and all that too, and we do see some type of relationship between them. Definitely, we do find out her dad is an archaeologist.
Right.
That's at least what it seems. But we also found out, because she does make a comment like, it was all buried in the desert with him. So it does imply that he kind of died, like something happened out on one of his dig sites. The woman, who I don't know the name of, definitely just mentions, hey, you know, don't stay in the past, because when you stay in the past, you get trapped there. You know, you got to kind of move on. And basically what we find out is Layla is going back to Cairo.
Right.
Now, according to at least what Layla is talking about, from her point of view, she don't got a lot of friends there. She done made some enemies.
Yeah,
and
she hasn't been there in 10 years.
And one of the reasons is because we find out a little bit about her personality, because she does say she doesn't steal because they're already stolen. And she's just returning it back to like a museum for everybody to look at.
To their rightful place.
Yeah,
that's what
but she does kind of, you know, when she leaves, pay the bills. She
exactly.
Kinda, you know,
take a little
take a little something from the side. But I was like, okay, cool. You know, everybody has their creed or their reason why, you know. But I was like, okay, I'll accept it.
Yeah. There's little stuff here and there, like even mentions that she found him with the scarab only 20 minutes away from where they used to live together. So, you know, little things like that. Her father apparently used to call his little scarab. You know. So yeah, kind of little stuff like that you see. Then you find out that's where she is from. That's where she was born and raised.
Is the scarab a bug?
Yeah.
Okay, is that mummy shit where they poured it in the tombs and they would eat the?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was just one, because the thing does look like a bug. I just wanted to confirm it. All right, and so we move to Harrow. You know, he has his whole followers. You know, like Samuel. They're on a path. And they find, you know, the scarab, you know, kind of points down there like, hey, we found Ahmed's tomb. But in the meantime, one of his people do say, hey, you know, Mark he's heading our way, you know. And basically Harrow's like, I know, it's cool. We found Ahmed, you know, and everybody's hugging. They're celebrating, you know. They love this guy. And I love Ethan Hawke, you know what I'm saying? Like every now and then I think he's over the top, but then he riles it back. He's just at that point. Yeah. Like, he's so good in this. He really is.
Later he gets to you later in the episode.
Yeah.
But that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, and so at this point in time, you see Mark running.
Yeah, he's running and jumping across roofs.
And apparently he wanted to talk to a dig site guy who, what we assume is Harrow's henchman, they kill. Right. He's just like, damn, I really want to talk to that dude. And badass fight scene.
Yeah, it was nice. The guy was throwing the knife in the air, playing with the knife.
Yeah, and this is where we get a little bit of Steven kind of fucking with Mark again. You know, he sees what Mark is doing. He's saying, no, we do have a mode.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he flashes in a car. So Steven does take over for a brief period of time. We're assuming he let the guy go. He's in a taxi. He's even talking. Mark is... When Steven blips, it goes back to Mark in the taxi. I guess I should be specific. Right. And because Mark talks Arabic to the taxi driver, and the taxi driver looks at him, he's like, why the fuck were you acting like a tourist just like 3 minutes ago?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Steve, you know, Mark doesn't know what's going on, but he does recognize
he just
the
look
people.
out the window and there's two of the
three people are kicking their ass. Like, I love it when the guy like licks the knife and he's just like, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, intimidation denied. And so he gets out of the car, and dude is just, they're both at this point just like, dude, just let us go. Right. I'm pretty sure they're freaked out because Steven let him go, and that dude's back, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? And so we have this chase scene, which was really cool. We got Oscar Isaac. I really want to know if that was him actually jumping off the truck like the actor. Yeah. Just, you know what I'm saying, for just stunt wise, because that was really cool. You know, you see him, he's on a truck. He jumps on the truck and then jumps down on like the little thing that they're driving, you know, the top, the front part of the truck, and then jumps on the street, gets the dude, punches the shit out. He's just giving it to him. He's just giving him rib shots, breaking some ribs, and then here we go with Steven again.
Yes, he gets him against the wall, and all of a sudden there's a mirror again.
Yeah, he's just
so
like,
he hesitates.
Stop, Mark, stop. Yeah. And he gets hit in the head, and this is the most tripped out thing in the episode, I guess. I mean, because a lot of tripped out shit does happen in the episode, but he gets knocked out, but he wakes up. He has the do moment, and the knife is in the guy that he was breaking his ribs chest. He's killed him and others around.
Yes.
And Mark is he responds, Steven, what did you do? What?
Yes.
And Steven is like, oh, no. Don't put this on me. You shouldn't be listening to that fucking pigeon over there. Like, I was like, okay, I remember you telling me about multiple personalities. I do. But I was just like, was Kanju just like, fuck it at this point and just massacred everybody? That's what I was thinking. I was just like, did Kanju just be like, you know what? I'm just going to take over from here. Y'all are just,
apparently this is supposed to be the introduction to a third personality.
See, we don't got this much time.
Right.
Is it 3 left? Yeah, 3 left, right? Okay. Anyways, there's the kid, you know, he seems like he's like 18, 19, dude, you know, youngest dude. And Kanju is just like, take him to the ledge, he'll talk. And Mark, like the servant, you know,
takes him to the ledge.
Take him to the ledge. And he's holding, like, you know, it's as if he has a tie or a scarf, and he's holding him, leaning him, and he's like, hey, where is Harrow? Where is he? And the kid is just like, praise Amit. It just cuts and dies, and Kanju is just like, I thought he would talk. Anyways, what's for breakfast? And Mark is over here just fucking devastated. You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck just happened?
And then Mark starts to, you know, I would say he starts to kind of question Kanju. He's like, is the gods gonna really allow this to happen? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And then Kanju kind of talks about, you know, a meeting with the gods is technically really dangerous. You know, they can make me into stone.
Yeah, he basically expresses like his one fear, which is the wrath of the other gods.
They already banished him,
right? We
find out, and he says, you know, they could turn me to stone. And Mark kind of responds in a snarky way. He's just like, that actually would be nice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he says something very specific. He says, you talking shit now, but you are protected by my armor, which is really key, especially what happens by the end of the episode. So he goes, the only way to get the gods' attention that, you know, to the point where they would want to summon us for a meeting is if I go buck wild.
Right.
And this brother does an eclipse.
Creates an eclipse, right.
And immediately Harold sees the eclipse and he's going, keep digging. I'm about to be something. He already knows what's going on. He's like, oh, okay. And basically, is the next scene in this when they actually go to the temple after this?
He's like, what's supposed to happen? And but how did they get there? They said, oh, a door is supposed to, conscious a door appears or from a portal or something. So then all of a sudden a door appeared in front of them.
Yep.
So that's when they opened up, and basically this took place in the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world.
You know what? I don't even know the wonders of the world. Is China really one of them, or was WWE just... No, she wasn't. Okay. My bad. R.I.P. China, we love you. I just, you know, they always said on the WWE, the 8th wonder of the world.
That's why they did that, because there's 7 wonders of the world, so they just called her the 8th wonder.
Okay, man, I don't even know the 7. That's fucked up. Anyways, I'm gonna be honest with you. Thank you for telling me one of them.
I even looked up though. I can't remember.
Happy New Beer. Happy New Beer to that. I would imagine one got to be a volcano or an ocean.
With that, basically, there's the council room for the pantheon of Egyptian gods.
Yes, and Stephen is freaking out. He's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, we're in the Temple of Giza. Oh my god!"
He's like,
it's like the Great Pyramid of Giza. Don't let me say that. I don't want to upset the Egyptian gods up there. You know what I'm saying? I did write some names down when he went in. He first meets. I'm looking. I sometimes spell them in the way that they're sound, not the actual way that they're spelled. So I'm gonna say he meets Yatsiel or Yatsiel.
Yeah.
She's the avatar of Hathor, and she's the goddess of music and love. And I do find it funny because when she sees Mark in the temple, she goes, "Hey!"
She's the goddess of the sky.
Oh,
that's the main thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And she sees Mark, who's Khonshu's avatar, right. And she's just like, "Hey, Hathor says, what up?" She used to enjoy he used to enjoy the music. In fact, he used to come over to the crib all the time. And he's just like, I don't know that guy. the Khonshu I know is ruthless. And just, I don't want to say terrible because he's doing some good things.
Right.
But damn, he affects the personality.
But yeah, that's why it was kind of a big thing that they hinted at their romance, because he's the god of the moon and she's the goddess of the sky. And they're supposed to kind of belong together.
Okay. And so we are introduced to some other gods.
What tripped out first
is
apparently there's 9 seats, but only 5 show up. So we don't meet all of them, apparently.
Oh, okay. I wondered that the other one's just like, man, I ain't finna come down enough Khonshu's dumbass shit. Y'all can go down there and fall for this dumb shit, but I ain't.
Right.
So we get Horus, Isis, I'm sorry, and
Tefnut.
Okay. When I looked at, I spelled it how it's said, how I hear it.
Tefnut.
And when I was just like, is this really Tefnut?
Right.
And basically, the trial starts, and they kind of question Khonshu, and they're just like, "Hey, you can't be doing this shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, if you do this shit one more time," you know what I'm saying? I think they tell him that later.
Right.
But they are very, very pissed off that he's done this, basically. Khonshu kind of gets into it with them, and
apparently they don't like how he has these weapons and these costumes and all this shit.
And they don't interfere, apparently. They let their avatar handle it if they go in. It seems like if they go into their avatar and handle it that way, it's okay. But other than that, they don't really
so he tries to say that they abandoned humanity.
Yeah.
And they're like, we have not, he says, we have not abandoned humanity. They abandoned us. Type of thing.
I'm interested to know what that means, because you do, Eternals just came out with the Celestials, almost like that.
They're talking about faith. They don't, they lost faith in them, or they don't worship them as much.
Supernatural universe shit popping up again,
Khonshu claims they're living in opulence in a place called the Overvoid, which is also known as the Celestial Heliopolis, which is a pocket dimension outside the universe where the gods live in luxury.
You know what? I'm just gonna hit the shit. I heard you. I really did, but I didn't. My God. And I did. I say it's kind of like the Eternals with the Celestials.
Right.
They kind of have that same kind of code. We're not gonna fuck with man, but it is a little bit different, because I think you even said it in our Eternals review that they're demigods, kind of, but these are gods.
Yeah.
Like, these are actual.
So that's what apparently
gods.
This is like a actual thing in the Marvel universe. The Heliopolis, pocket universe. You know what I mean? And so that's what he's saying, that they're over there just living your life in luxury, and over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And So it's just like, so you don't care.
Yeah,
I'm over
and
here
that's
trying to
true.
help him and shit.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I can see where he's coming from. I totally respect Kanju here, and I do see where he's coming from, and I do see the fault in having to have an avatar, in order to even help humanity. Basically, because the only thing that he can do outside of the avatar is maybe knock some trees down with the wind in the background when he's mad.
Right.
But anyway.
Right. And this is also to have another little Easter egg.
Okay.
This is something not only Khonshu always dislikes them about, but so does Gore the God Butcher, which Christian Bale is going to be playing.
Oh, my. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so okay. I'm interested. You know what I'm interested to see? Will we see this dimension in the Multiverse of Madness?
Right.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It could be that.
Man, shout out to that detailed ass imp. I love it, dude. I love it. I love me some deep dives. And so they're basically like, why'd you bring us here? And he wants to make charges against Harrow. Harrow sees the portal, he comes in. And it's funny because I think this episode was the most episode that I actually heard the glass in his shoes. Like, I don't think I've heard it any other episode. And I'm just like, and it reminds me like, bro, glass in his shoes this whole time. And I'm like, I guess that's what the cane is for?
Yeah.
Man, that... Wow. I'm just thinking, you know what I'm saying? Crazy, that's crazy. And I would say this is probably Harrow at his manipulative best. Because Kanju comes in like a lightning bolt, Yitzel does warn Mark. He's like, have you ever done this before? Right. And she does say, just let him take control. It's easier. It does feel a little weird. I don't know if Kanju comes in like a 2-year-old, but Mark is very uncomfortable during this whole fucking trial. We can see that. And him and Harrow have a back and forth. And Harrow, my God, he comes in saying some shit like, I can see, do you see this avatar right now? Like,
he's
you know what I'm saying? Like he is so unstable. And Kanju is just coming in screaming, and he's just like, oh, I don't miss that voice. Like, he's saying, like, he's so cold when he says it, but it's so fucking hilarious. I literally laughed when he said it. It's like, oh, I don't miss that voice. Basically, Khonshu is accusing him of trying to find Emmett's tomb.
They're trying to raise that.
Raise it. Now, I do like the deflection that Harrow creates during this whole trial, but I would have to say he really doesn't answer the question. You know what I'm saying? Khonshu's like, do you deny it? I love how he goes in and out. Like, and Harrow is just like, hey, I was in the desert, you know what I'm saying, chilling with my people. If that's a crime, well, you should, it's going to be a line as long as the Nile. I was like, wow. This motherfucker, and then he goes, this, he has, he's been looking for Emmett's tomb all this long, and I'm even afraid that the avatar that he has is unstable. You know what I found out? He's like, this man has 2 different personalities, 2 different licenses. The guys are like, 2 different licenses? Like, you know what I'm saying? They all look like, like, I was like, really, bitches? Y'all really? It was so funny. It's like, 2 different identifications. And he's just like, this avatar isn't stable. And since, I had him before, I was his previous avatar, I know the type of shit that Kanju pulls. And he just, walks around this whole trial, to the point where Kanju gets so mad, he does the childish shit. He tries to hit him.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
I don't even think that was Mark. I think Mark had got mad at what he was saying.
You think it was Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Khonshu. I thought he was,
because he was saying shit about Mark.
Yeah, that is true.
He was saying shit specifically about the Avatar himself, not about Khonshu at that time. So I think it was Mark that wrote to kind of swing at him.
And then I don't know who that specific guy was, but he wasn't playing no motherfucking games. He did that little dude with his 2 fingers. 2 fingers. Just was just like, no, we don't tolerate this type of shit in here. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, let Mark speak. And he asked him, because again, Harold's just saying like he's a deeply troubled man, multiple personalities. This is who Kanju chooses. Like, this motherfucker can't be. He's one of the banished and disgraced gods. You can't trust this dude. And God said, you know what? Let Mark speak. Are you a troubled man? You know, do you feel like you have been abused, you know, kind of mentally abused by Kanju? And Mark says, I'm not on trial. This ain't about me. I am fucked up. Yeah, I will admit that shit. I am fucked up, but it's not about me. Yeah, it's about this motherfucker over here.
This fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's trying to kill everybody, you know?
And they basically, you know, and he says, but he has, you ain't got no proof, basically. Right. You have, you know what I'm saying? He's committed no crimes. And I'm just like, you didn't even directly ask this motherfucker if he was trying to rape homage too. He just pivoted. Like, Harold was just like, hey, for all intents and purposes, Kanju has been trying to do this.
So it makes
this
you
whole time.
It kind of makes you think he's in cahoots with somebody there. You know what I mean? It's obviously easy to just to say Horace. You know what I mean? Because he seems like he's being a dick in a way. So I feel like he's the obvious one. You know what I mean? But for some reason, I want to keep my eye on Hathor. For some reason, even though it's supposed to have like this romantic, that could be the trick, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, because she does even say after, you know, they basically tell Kanju, like, if you do this shit again, if you manipulate the sky, they specifically say that, we will make you stone.
Right. We'll imprison you and stone.
And after that, you know, Mark, you know, looks defeated. You know, he's on his knees, and so she tells him like, hey, you know, there is a way. You know, we have been. Basically, she tells him that you can't really trust anyone, because we've dealt with something like this before. Right. And back in the day, when it came to some shit like this, we didn't know who was in the cult or not. The only other thing I do want to add is I'm interested if Harold is right about Kanju looking for Emmett's tomb, or just literally wanting to know where it was. I could probably see why Harold wants to raise Ahmed, like, because Harold does, you know, obviously he says what he says in the end, and we'll get to that. But I do see, like, I gained the knowledge about Emmett from Kanju. And I was, even though he was like, I want to prevent this from happening, when me and you had a falling out, it was like, ooh, you know what? Maybe I'll be interested in the God that you wanted to prevent, since you gave me the education on her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because when Harold just says, oh, he was looking for her when I was his avatar, it just makes me think that the falling out between him and Kanju led him to look for Ahmed, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. You know, I'm fishing here.
It made him bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
So that couldn't lead to that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he says at the end. Yeah, is that you're me doing shit for you gave me that lust for blood. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely it can lead to wanting more blood. What's the more blood and killing shit that hasn't even happened yet?
Anyways. After that, Mark is broken. Yatsel mentions, I think Senju. She says, she's like, hey, there is a way. You can find Emmett's tomb from the contents that's in Senju's sarcophagus. Yes, thank you for that word. I appreciate that. And so basically, Mark is searching for Senju now. And we see him in the middle of Egypt, you know, in a market, you know, some random guy selling him something. He's like, hey, do you know where the Senju, you know, the sarcophagus is? And the Egyptian guy just gives him this like dirty look and backs away. And then we see Layla. You know, she just pops out of nowhere. She says, hey, you know, you had the right method, but you're the wrong color, my dude. You know, ain't nobody gonna show no Caucasian ass dude. Well, can I say Caucasian? Caucasian, right? Caucasian dude, you know what I'm saying, in Egypt, and they gonna live like, oh, right away, I know where the temple is, or at least the sarcophagus is. So basically what Layla plans is she wants to meet somebody. It may seem like, bless you, it may seem like that she screwed, you know what I'm saying? Anton is his name. It's funny because
Mogard.
Yeah, I was about to say because they gave that last name first.
Yeah, and actually in the comics, he's known as Midnight Man. Yeah, he's a famous thief, and he get the name because that's when he liked to strike at midnight type of thing. Right?
Happy New Year with these Easter eggs and these details. So they get on the boat. Seem like it's like a party going on, you know. So in the back,
some kind of holiday or something.
And you know, Layla and Mark do kind of, you know, they talk, and Layla's just like, I didn't know about this whole split personality thing. I wish you would have told me. You know, there could have really been a chance. Right. Mark is just like, hey, you know, I'm not that talkative, conversationalist type of guy. You know how it is. You know, it seems like she's still in love. Basically, trying to figure out what to do because it does seem like Steven is in love with Layla. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse, Steven, of course.
Yeah, but Mark is just like, he ain't having it.
Well, he's in love too, but his whole thing is, his excuse is he's protecting her.
Yeah, because Khonshu
wants her for the next Avatar. He doesn't want that for her.
Yep, and so, you know, they get their story straight. They end up on the island it seems like an island at least that Anton has, and they walk up on. You know, Mark immediately notices the amount of security with guns that's everywhere. Yep. And I didn't fucking Google it. I told myself I was, but anyways, we have Anton doing El Merma, which seems like some sort of jousting. It's funny how these super rich people always go back to the old school basics like this, because I was like, what the fuck is he doing? But it seems some sort of Middle Eastern Egyptian jousting, like the last duel. You know, shout out, you know, shameless plug. Mark even is like, so he just does this, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, just as practice, right? And then she goes, well, the people that he is practicing with are all the professionals of the world of this particular sport, so they come to him. Basically letting us know that not only is he rich, he's powerful, and not only is he rich and powerful, he collects old items, like, for whatever reason rich people tend to do. I don't get it,
say he has it, basically.
Yeah. And so they meet up. She introduces him as her husband, and he has Sinji, the sarcophagus, and he is more interested in Mark's reason why they want to see it, and Mark does kind of give a half-ass reason. He's just like, I want to take a look at it. And Layla is just like, can you bring Steven out, please? Because you finna fuck this whole shit up. Like, we know that guy can't fight, but at least he's intelligent enough to crack this fucking code. And Mark is just like, nah, it ain't happening. Anton lets them see the sarcophagus. And then they don't really know what the fuck they're looking for. When they're looking
Mark tells Layla, like, go distract them for a few minutes. Let me see what I could do. So then he starts talking to Steven. Steven, help me. You gotta help me out, man. You know what I mean? So after a little back and forth, Steven finally agrees. You know, he agrees. Like, all right. You know.
Now, when you tell me Steven was annoying and I did not conclude to that, this episode to me was his most annoying. Yeah, because Mark is just like, do you want people to die? Like, you understand, like, you're a part of this club now. I get that you don't want to work with me, but you know what the fuck is going to happen.
Going on, right?
And Steven lets up. He goes, okay, let me see it. He basically tells Mark to put the pieces together. And while Mark is putting the pieces together, the black guy, Beck, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever. He
Anton's
interrupts him,
right?
and Mark does the best Bourne supremacy move. Like, I wish I could fucking do that. He switches the gun.
The gun and shit.
Layla's telling him stop at this point because they have guns at her. He's just like, fuck it. But I'm going to give you your gun back. He gave the guy's gun back. And Anton at this point is just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm pretty sure he's upset that Mark was just touching the shit. Like, actually putting his hands on the shit. And then once they're about to explain, they have another third party.
Good old Harrow. I'm like this motherfucker again.
Man, and this scene is interesting to me because he mentions some things. He does say, hey, no, this motherfucker is just a smooth talker. That's, so he's just like, there's no use for violent accusations. You know what I'm saying? We all have something connected with this. And he starts off with Layla and drops a fucking bombshell so smoothly. He goes, you're still searching for your dad's shit, but you don't know your husband has some information about it. Basically, he said some shit. And if he was to give you this information, boo-boo, you would look at him the same way he thinks everybody was. I was like, really? You just gonna drop that?
So it makes you
not explain?
It makes you think about when Mark apparently died and got brought back by Khonshu. He died out in the desert. Could have been a dig site.
Man, and
you know what I mean?
And you remember what the police were saying in the car? He executed an archaeologist. Right. Oh my fucking God. Damn, that was so good right there. This connection that we just had. It's like 60 seconds, people. I'm looking at Ito's eye. He looking at my eyes. Let's take a fucking happy new beer and move the fuck on. And then Harold goes to Anton and he goes, hey, I'm going to tell you this. You know what I'm saying? I can give you an offer way more than they can. You know what, let me show you a glimpse of this power real quick. And he blows up the sarcophagus.
Yeah, he sets it on fire through this damn staff.
Okay, so was he just trying to destroy everything? Because I was shocked that he didn't get something from it. Or was he trying to tell Anton, look for it yourself? I was totally confused.
He basically was burning it so they didn't have that. They didn't have the way to get to the tomb. And the
only reason I asked that is because Layla ends up taking some shit from the sarcophagus. Right. That's why I was like, was that meant for Anton? Just like, hey, if you're curious, I got a God who loves new people. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit like that. But Harold leaves after that. And he's just like, and this is a specket of the power. What if I was to tell you the lores are true about these stories? And he just vanishes into thin air, kind of. He just walks off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And basically, chaos happens. You know what I'm saying? They end up fighting. It's really good fight scenes. Oh, yeah. During this whole time, though, I do forget to mention, Khonshu was like, summon the suit, and Mark is giving his ass that look like, bro, I was like, whoa, okay, what's that about? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want Steven to come in your body, but you don't want Khonshu to summon. Like, really? And Khonshu says it at least 2 to 3 times. He's like, what the fuck?
Hey,
they deserve to die. Like, we got them all here, Harrow. Like, all these motherfuckers. And I was wondering, like, why did you wait until Harrow left? Because it was after the trial, maybe? Harrow hit some nerves? Like, that was so fucking weird.
I feel like it made him hesitate. You know what I mean? Because of that, the trial, probably him second guessing, does he want to do this for Khonshu anymore? Maybe.
Yeah. And Mark does his best Bruce Wayne disappear impression, because after Harold leaves, they're like, where's the other one? We have a MoonKnight appearance.
Right.
And he proceeds to fuck everybody up. I do like those, I don't know what you call them, those daggers that he throws at his back.
Like those crescent daggers.
Yeah, those are fucking badass. badass.
Yeah,
like
nice.
he does them really, really well. He comes off as so much of Batman in this in this particular episode, because he comes up and the wings come up, and I was like, I think they was trying to do the crescent moon in there, but it kind of just looked like Batman's jumping with the it was awesome. I loved it. And then we have a Beck versus Layla confrontation here. I will say, when it comes to men versus women fights, I hate when they get whatever character gets thrown on the side when it looks like, for all intents and purposes, ribs are broken and they shouldn't be getting up, and they just get up and fight like nothing happened. That happened. But Layla does get it in the back. You know, he's whooping her ass. He knocks her. After he does that, she takes apart her necklace, and it's kind of like the same things that MoonKnight has.
Oh yeah, that's right. She snapped at
like
those.
Both collarbones, it looks like, and obviously MoonKnight is handling a lot of the henchmen. It gets to a point where Layla gets in trouble. I do like the whole scene where he has everything stabbed through him, like the
different.
You should see me. You should see me. We gotta do this video shit on YouTube. The spear, right? It's a spear, right? It's like he has like so many spears through him. That was an awesome scene.
For some reason I could think of spear. I was gonna say the javelin.
Yeah, something, the javelin.
It sounded too nerdy to me.
Oh man, and he has all these spears through him. Which I do have to mention the same thing that Conjure said. He was just like, hey bro, you lucky you protected by my armor. I didn't know MoonKnight could take this much damage. I was actually shocked that he took this much damage. But after Layla kills Beck, she helps him out.
Right.
And then we see Anton coming for her. And he fucking kills Anton all badass. Into the smoke and shit he goes, into the fog. I'm assuming he's dead because he goes at you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he flings a little dagger and he's in the back, and you know, it's to a certain degree, you know, happily ever after. The only thing I will say that was hilarious.
The actor actually died when he played Anton.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like January this year.
Holy shit. R.I.P. Damn. You know how?
No.
Okay. Wow. That's... Holy shit. Happy New Year.
Right.
R.I.P. And he was great. I really, really liked him, you know. I really, really liked him.
Yeah.
Damn. It's kind of like the actor to, what was that, Stars, when the Stars first shows with like the Sparta, something like that. The one of the actors had cancer. Spartacus, yeah. Damn, man, that sucks. What I was gonna mention, which I guess will be the comedy relief in this point. Steven does take over before Mark has all the spears through him. Yeah. And he takes over. He goes, hey,
right, time out, everybody calm down.
It was so funny because I thought maybe he was going to get through to a certain extent, but it would be hilarious to just be like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then he gets 2 spears through. He goes, all right, Mark, you can take over. I love that shit. I thought that shit was funny. But let's fast forward to, obviously he saves Layla.
Yeah, Layla grabs the burnt pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And basically she kind of pleads with Mark to say, hey, let Steven, you know, just let him take over. It is funny that Khonshu says, I summoned the gods and you summoned the worm. He will never give you back that body. That's what he does say to Mark. And basically what we find out, history lesson, Steven comes back, and God, Oscar Isaac. I forget the actor's name, but he played the newer Professor X. But you know who I'm talking about. Do you remember that movie where he was multiple personalities?
Oh yeah.
I forget the fucking name of that movie too.
Split, wasn't it?
Maybe. But you know what I'm talking about, when he kidnapped the girls, yada yada yada. McAvoy? Is that his name?
James
okay.
McAvoy,
phenomenal. Like, he is a very underrated actor, and I think Oscar Isaac killed it with the multiple names, because when he's Steven, bro, like, I hate Steven when he's in the mirror war, like, come on, Mark, don't kill these people who are trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when Steven is like working on these things and he just explains, like, look, the Egyptians created the whole navigation system. They didn't have GPS, so they had to rely on the stars.
Right.
We see that Layla's into it. I'm into it. You know what I'm saying? We all like, come on, tell us more. And he creates basically a Google sky map. Basically. It's in the shape of a star, and at first they're like, well, how do we use it? They look up and they find out that, hey, it was the same as the constellation was back in the day. The problem is, how are they going to see the same constellation
2,000 years ago?
And MoonKnight goes, I remember that constellation. And I thought he was just going to point them where. That's what I really thought when he said, I remember that. And this was one of the only times where him and Steven really connected. And I do really appreciate that relationship between him and Kanju, because Kanju says, the only way for me to do this is at a cost. And I want you, Steven, to tell Mark to release me from imprisonment. And he starts the process.
And this is basically, to me, shows like the extent of his power.
Yeah.
Or power of these gods, period, how he did this. Like, just basically shifted the sky back in time somehow.
Now, as he's doing it, I didn't realize everyone was going to see it.
Yeah.
Now, where are the Avengers? Can we get a signal? You know what I'm saying? And here's what I'm saying. I don't need a 3-minute, 2-minute. Give me a 20-second, like, Black Widow or fucking the Hulk, whatever. Mark Ruffalo, like, did you guys just see this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on. Back to fucking MoonKnight.
They're saying there's going to be some kind of shit like that.
I'm assuming, because, man, MoonKnight is on another level. He ain't Daredevil. He ain't Jessica Jones. Right. He ain't Luke Cage. MoonKnight he's Avengers level. Yeah. I would say, from what I'm seeing these 3 episodes, at least in my opinion. So he's literally reversing time, or at least the sky. And Steven can barely take it. You know, he's just like, hey, I need your help. You know, hold it. We get to this point, and at the same time, we see the gods like, okay. You know what I'm saying? They're in a circle.
They did it. It's fucked up.
And we see, you know, simultaneously, they're creating his statue as he's finishing the constellation. Finishes a constellation. They know where Amit's tomb is, and he is made into a statue. After this, was it Horus? Or was it? No, it wasn't Horus. But it was one of the gods taking Harrow down, just like, hey, you know, this is what happened.
Osiris, I think.
You know, this is what happened. It's fucked up, but he, you know, basically gave us no choice. And then Harrow definitely has a, you know, one-on-one with Amit. I think even in the process of doing the time thing, Harrow, it does flip the Harrow real quick, and Harrow does say, like, wow, you're willing to do that. I think. Don't quote me on that. But I do think while they're doing the sky thing, it does go to Harrow, and he's just like, wow, I'm shocked. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I was there during the trial. We all know what's about to happen to you.
So that's probably why he knew that was going to happen. So that's why he went to go see the stone.
And so we have a one-on-one. And it's interesting because Harrow specifically describes him and Kanju's relationship as Kanju breaking him. Yeah. Like, he's just like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been so broken to heal. And that's where Lee, you know, when I was talking to you like 20 minutes ago, I was just like, I wonder, was the fault? It was because Kanju was just riding him. You know what I'm saying? He was just riding him, like, hey, one more person.
He said he enjoyed hurting in Kanju's name.
Yeah, and he did say that.
That's the reason why he's on this path. That's why I think. Like,
he
enjoyed it so much, but there was a limit.
Okay.
There is no limit because Khonshu, like he says, Khonshu only kills for things that have happened already.
Yeah, you make a good case.
Anime kills for things that haven't happened. You don't want these things to happen, so let's stop it from happening. So let's kill these, you know. But that's a
good argument because I was just like, man, like maybe somehow him and again they had a falling out, and that falling out may be exactly like you're saying, and then he was just like, hell, he already taught me about Ammon and her power. Let me go ahead and try to get this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like this goddess. And he definitely tells Khonshu like, hey, I'm about to complete the mission that you never could.
Right.
Now, I do have to ask you a question. Does it end there? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's basically
okay, it does end there. But how are you liking it? Do you like it better? Do you like it better as the story is coming together?
That episode, definitely. Mm-hmm. I just like, it sucks that there's only 3 more left.
Yes.
And I feel like the first 2 were a little wasted. They could have been cut down and combined into one.
I have heard that a lot. I have heard the first episode could have just been maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and they could have did the first 2 in one episode. I have heard that from other critics too. I'm wondering do you think after the last 3 that we could actually see a Moon Knight movie? Just like a solo movie?
No, probably not.
No?
Maybe not right away.
Okay.
I feel like maybe he'll lead into a movie, like an Avenger maybe type movie, the next one.
I don't even know who the Avengers are right now. Like, obviously I know, well, it's not Spider-Man, so we got Doctor Strange, we got the Hulk, we got Captain Marvel. After WandaVision, is Wanda still an Avenger?
No, I would say no.
Okay, right, so we got
she's on her own thing
3.
With Strange.
Like, so I don't like. Ooh. Well, I guess
Falcon, Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, Winter Soldier. Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, so we're up to 5. At least if we got 5. 5 is a nice
class, you know. And then
team.
It's like you might still have Thor still out there.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
Maybe it's
X-Men
not going to be the Thor. It's going to be just Natalie Portman's going to be the new Thor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So.
Which is funny because they said, at least when I heard, it was like Chris Hemsworth doesn't want to give Thor up. He is so angry that Marvel is, transitioning. I get it. I love Thor. I love Chris Hemsworth's Thor. But anyways, very solid episode. I did really like it. This was the first episode, at least for me. Steven annoyed the shit out of me. I was just kind of like, come on, dude. Let's get over this not killing people thing.
See, to me, it was kind of like down a little bit. Yeah, it was a little annoying here and there, but it wasn't as much as the first 2.
Okay, all right.
So I could take it.
All right, good shit. Good on you, Oscar Isaac. I really hope that he does come out in the future. I know I've seen some article headlines like he's not going to be Moon Knight anymore and shit like that. And I'm just like, please, I hope these are just like bullshit fucking articles and shit. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito.
And we are the Carbonation Conversation. Moon Knight, episode 3.
The friendly type.
Peace. We love you.